Good evening, everyone. It is deep into December, and we have the third of a trio of tastings we've done, one after another, the last 3 weeks. And this is the last one until Christmas, I think, I hope, until Peter comes up with a different idea tomorrow. We've got Jamie on. Jamie from Living Souls, his last outturn was 7 whiskies, which is quite exceptional. And it's always good to have you on, Jamie. It's always good to shoot the shit about a few drams.
Oh, I'm delighted, big man. Absolutely delighted. So no, it's cracking. Sorry for the Wednesday night rather than the Thursday. Just for a bit of context, my 5-year-old is in a is in a panto, and it's on tomorrow night. So apologies they're on a Wednesday, lads. But a 5-year-old's panto couldn't be avoided because I would have got kneecapped. So thank you all for making it a Wednesday. Thanks.
Excellent. Excellent. So,
Cracking.
let's pour some whiskey and then we can talk some stuff, right?
Sounds good. Number one, lads, is Tamnavulin, 10-year-old. If you don't mind pouring that one out, then that's the one. I'll pour it out and then we'll talk a little bit about the dram. And then for those who don't know me or have forgotten, I'll do a quick 1 minute on it, if that's all right. Tamnavulin 10-year-old. Probably one of the lesser sexy distilleries going. We chatted about whether to actually write Tamnavulin on the bottle because in the UK it's just, I mean, you guys all know you can get a bottle of non-age statement Tamnavulin in a supermarket for kind of 27 quid, and they sit in a kind of profile bit like a bit like Glen Garioch or something like that, but there is no harm in shining a light on these type of whiskies because they can be utterly phenomenal. This year's had 5 years in bourbon, in refill bourbon, and then 5 years in first fill Chianti casks. I think the spirit's absolutely amazing. We like to do our releases, so we do our releases every quarter. We do kind of somewhere between 5 and 7 bottlings, depending on what we think is ready to be bottled, really. But we always like to have a real fighting price dram, like one that you don't really have to maybe think about the purchase too much, if you know what I mean. So something around about 50 quid, and this is what we chose here. So to have that kind of 50 quid mark, it needs to be interesting, decent age, and be around about 46%. So what is our kind of minimum, I suppose. And so this one here is exactly that. When we first tried it, it was cash strength and absolutely turbo, and we tried it about a year ago. And then when we brought it down to 46, it just kind of really fitted that fighting dram price. So I guess when we first got straight into it, I mean, it's the same. It's the same as when we tried it at cash strength. It just smells like strawberries. Like it's absolutely incredible. It's a tremendous dram. For me, on the nose, it's strawberries and hay. I think it's tremendous. This is 50 quid, 52 quid.
I would go down at 50 quid. There you go.
Yeah, 50 quid. Great texture, really bright. From the tasting we're going to do tonight, we the natural bit to start on, we'll be doing a grain whiskey because it's lighter, but I felt like this one was just like, it's such like a lovely bright dram that it felt like a nice place to start. But it's tremendous. I'm looking at the kind of names here, and I think I know most of you. Oh, right, Nick, how you doing? But for those who don't, I'll just a wee quick intro to who I am, and I won't bore you at all, right? But I'm Jamie. I've worked in kind of independent whiskey bottling for quite a while. My last job was for 3 years, kind of doing the UK market for Douglas Lane. That was about 3.5 years ago, and then as how lots of businesses are formed, you look at what your boss does, and then you think I can have a bit of that. And that's what I did. So I left my job 3.5 years ago with basically three plans, 4 plans, can't remember. One of them was to have a pre-batch Negroni business, which I do have and service the restaurants of Scotland with. The other one was to have a UK distributor of spirits, which I do have, been running for 2 years. And the third kind of pillar of that was to have an independent bottling company. The fun bit about having an independent bottling bit is, because that's my history and that's what I kind of wanted to do, is that idea was in 2022 when independent bottling was absolutely flying. I'm sure you guys were probably got into it around 2019, 2020, 2021. That's when lots of people kind of got into that bit, COVID times. And then, we decided to launch in November 24, which was probably the second worst worst year in whiskey history for the past 40 years. And then the actual worst was 2025. But the good thing for you guys as the consumer is that people like us come out and say we want to do our whiskies and have them at phenomenal pricing, and that's probably the key bit to what we do, and is having like really super sharp pricing. Like some of you will have tried our like 99&1, which was a blending error of a island distillery which was 18 years old, and we had that on shelf at 58 quid, which has been a absolute roaring success. And I don't know if Victor knows this or not, but Southport Whisky Club bought the third highest volume in the UK of that one product. And we did a phenomenal amount of spirit. To give you an idea, well, everyone knows what the spirit is, right?
Is it, Jamie, was that this year you did it? Was it last year you released it? It feels like it's been around for like
this year. Yeah. It was this year, and we released it in. For context, it was in. Let's just say it right. It's Letric 18. Let's bleep that out when it goes on YouTube. So the spirit itself is 16 years in bourbon and 2 years in First Fill Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez. I'm sure loads of folk will have tried it. And when we picked up the spirit and we got it at a great price, we thought we had about 4 years worth of stock, because there was a 10,000 litres of it. Yeah, 10,000 litres. And so we thought we had like 4 years worth of stock. We thought people might not get it because it's a 3-year-old blended Scotch, because it was a blending error with some 3-year-old grain through it, really. And we put it out, and so that was that distillery's full year's worth of product for that one product. That 10,000 litres, that does their whole global for 1 year. And we put it out in March, and it sold in I think 2 days. 240 cases just sold in 2 days, and that's like, I know, I appreciate I'm talking about volume sizes, and it means nothing to the normal person, but that's phenomenal for an independent bottler. You'd usually know success would be selling like 50 cases in a month. That's success. So we sold these 238 cases it was in 2 days. We were like, holy shit, that's really going quite well. And we sold out all of that stock in 3 months. So of that product, we thought we had 4 years of stuff, and we sold out in 3 months, which was quite incredible. And Southport were the biggest, it's the third biggest in the UK, just behind.
We just kept selling it. It was like, I mean, Steve on here, Steve was just getting bored of it. He's like, not another one. I'm having to pack this and ship this to somebody we don't know.
Yeah.
It's on the internet, and I'd listened to Ralphie or some other sage whiskey guy saying how good it was and how great value it was, and it was just like, Jamie, can we get some more? Jamie, can we get some more?
Yeah.
We got any more? But there's more coming. Can I keep selling it? It's definitely more coming. Yeah.
It was amazing, and it's funny because like at the start of Living Souls, which is just literally a year and 3 weeks ago, we they have this chat at the start of like a business. I'm sure all of you have been involved in business, and you say, God, what if we make this one product that goes really well, right? And anyway, we did that product and it went really well, and then when you've got that product, you're like, oh, will you shut up about it to the consumer? And it's just such a funny way that it goes. And so that's been like a great thing for us. But I suppose that sums up what we're trying to do, which is have like phenomenal spirit in bottle, which we think looks beautiful, and then have it at a bloody great price that people have been chomping away and buying it, which is pretty cool. And just for the other two guys that I do it with, so we're kind of three of us, we're one third partner each. There's a guy called John Torrance. John's kind of my age, year or so older than me, and he's a ex-distiller at Diageo and stuff like that, and he was general manager at Tullamarden Distillery, and then was head of production at, you cap me if I've forgotten this, head of production or something like that at Douglas Lane. That's where I met John, and we both left our jobs at Douglas Lane around about the same time, and have been doing lots of projects ever since then. And then Callum, who's the other partner, he was head of new product development at Lochranza Group. Callum's a couple of years younger than me, but he's good. So we got a design guy, a spirit blending guy, and me. I'm not quite sure what my skill is, but I fit in somewhere. I've managed to hustle myself without getting found out for the past year, but hopefully I'll get through it. But any to go back to the dram, any comments on the Tamnavulin? Do we like it?
Somebody must have
Yeah,
something to say. Oh, go on, Paul.
I do. It's surprising because I've tried Tamnavulin before, and like you when you first started talking, Jamie, it's one of those basic supermarket ones that you see and think, oh, that looks all right. What's that one? But what got me before you told me that it was a Chianti was the colour. I was just like, wow, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so rosy and, obviously Chianti. But I definitely agree. It's definitely like a shortbread and strawberry on that one. So, yeah, nice start on that one. Pleasantly surprised. And at what the, £50, £45. Yeah, can't really go wrong. Good start.
Yeah, awesome. The colour on its class. It looks like a kind of, you can't really quite see it here, but it looks like in the supermarkets you get like a, what do they call it? White Zinfandel, the American stuff.
Yeah.
It's like that bright
rosy,
that bright pink rosy. Looks like almost fake. It's so pink. But it's amazing, and it all comes from the Chianti cask. It's super tough. I think it's tremendous. So I've found that the whiskies I drink the most in the house, like obviously I've got a lot of living souls in the house because that's what I've got, and the three that I nip at the most are that Tamnavulin, which is 50 quid. The other one is the Lagmore, which is the teaspoon Ballandalach, which is 55 quid, and then the other one I drink in the house is the Bowmore, which is 55 quid. So we've got all this spirit that's much older, much which should have more appeal, if you know what I mean. But the ones I end up going to are all 50 to 55 quid. Maybe it's just my youthful palate. I'm so young.
It seems to have a bit of a stronger bite to it as well, considering 46. But if you didn't tell me that was 46, I'd have thought it would have been closer to 50.
It does have a bit of bite. Quite like it. I really like it.
Well, I am. I'm not going to comment anything on it because I slated a red wine cask last week, and it's just not really my thing. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut and ask somebody else to say something about this.
Was it a bit of a cheeky nod to the supermarket Tamnavulin that's in a red wine cask, Jamie, to say sort of, Tamnavulin, if you're going to do a red wine cask, do this one because this is really, really good.
I think I'll plead the fifth. And, they do some wine finishes. Funny, I've got probably an unusual route into whiskey. The two, as Victor has slated a wine cask last week. The two whiskies that got me into whiskey are probably the most unfashionable of all. I live in, I've just moved house, hence the black background and the horrible wallpaper. But to put you in context of where I live, Deanston Distillery is about 600 metres that way. Some of you might have been there. So I live in a village called Doon, which is Deanston and Doon are kind of one and the same. But I used to live a little bit further over that way. And our local distillery there was Tullabarden. And this was about 15 years ago or something like that when I had the Baxter soup bit next to it. And went in there, didn't really know about whiskey at all, and just kind of went in for a wee nosy around and tried, I forget what it was. It was a red wine cask. It was a Burgundy or a Bordeaux. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a Burgundy. And I was like, holy shit, that's the whiskey that got me into whiskey. And then the second dram I had after that was a Glen Murray 10-year-old Chardonnay cask. And if anyone ever remembers that dram,
I remember it. Yeah.
Still pops up on auctions at 32 quid. It is amazing.
It is amazing. I think it was it cast strength or something. It was just
that was one of the core offerings, and it was in a really old-fashioned biscuit, metal biscuit tin type thing. And it does pop up in auctions, and I bought one in auction a couple of years ago. I got someone to buy it for me on auction, and it was £32. But and then I ended up working for Glen Murray. That was my first job in whiskey, and it was phenomenal. I think the RRP on that at the time was £28.
Yeah. I've still got a bottle of it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's tremendous stuff. So, to think of I'm sure other independent bottlers will have sexier ways that they got into whiskey rather than a Tullabarden core range and a Glen Murray core range. But that was my genesis in whiskey. So, anyway, you start where you start, right? And I would still happily nip at both of them.
So anybody got comments on this Tamnavulin? Yes, no, maybe. Any maybes? There's a Nick, you waving your hand, maybe?
On mute. Yeah, I'm on the fence with that. I'm going to stick it to one side and give it a bit of time. I like the red wine casks, but I think sometimes they're a bit challenging and maybe just need a little bit of time. I don't know. When I first got my nose into that, there was a lot of sweetness, and then it seemed to sort of be overtaken a little bit, and by a sort of woody, that's a sort of woody cask finish. And I'll give that a bit of time, I think. But
Okay.
I'm a fan of the red wine finishes.
I think it needs a wee bit of water as well. Just a wee dod. A wee dod will do you. We'll be good on that one because it is quite hot.
Okay, so let's follow on with a yay. Who loves it? Yeah, Paul, Alan, good one. Okay, you've got some fans.
Good. I'm just rattling through here. Jason and Stephen, how you doing, boys?
Good.
I've not quite been through the names of who's in it yet. Sorry. Well, if we've got 7 drams, so we might as well just push on if that's all right.
Let's do it.
Next up, Port Dundas 35. Got a blurred screen, which is no use to anybody. But we'll go for that. What was I going to say? The Port Dundas 35. This is the grain whiskies that we do are purely a selfish thing on my part. I love grain whiskies, and probably that'll be how you and I basically first started getting on, Victor. Grain whiskies.
We did a few grain whiskies with DL.
Yeah. The first bottling we did with you when I was Douglas Lane was a 27-year-old grain from somewhere. Can't remember.
26-year-old Canvas, was it? Is that the first
one?
one?
God.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Refill cherry back. Yeah.
Was there a 30-year-old Invergordon we did that was a absolute
Cameron Bridge, yeah.
Cameron Bridge, yeah. It was that went down really well, and then 37-year-old something else.
Oh, the 40 we did wasn't the exclusive one, but you took the full cask of it. It was a 45-year-old Canvas in XOP.
You've got some memory, Jamie.
Either that or I'm making it up. Who knows? And then since and for those who don't know, when I went self-employed, went on my own, Southport were the first guys to support me with my own bottling bits. So we did a 22-year-old Port Dundas, and then we did a 24-year-old Dumbarton, which we split half and half.
There's a wee bit of that left. That Dumbarton, there's a little bit left.
It's phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, it was good. But I remember you came down to the mash. There was maybe about 10 of us, and you had 7 or 8 samples, maybe more.
I forgot about that.
And we went through them, 7 or 8 grain samples.
Yeah.
Like you do.
Yeah, I know.
And we scored them all, and the one that won, I think, was that 22-year-old Port Dundas, and that's where we bowled.
Yeah, great stuff, really good stuff. We did so we started doing some grains and living souls 6 months ago. We did one which was at Dumbarton again, actually 20-something-year-old, I can't remember. 25-year-old. It'll have been similar parcel of stock actually to the one we did with you.
Yeah.
And I love grain whiskey. Sweet tooth. Love these type of things. A sweet tooth diabetic isn't much use, but that's what I am. And so getting a sweet whiskey, I'm quite happy with. And so we started looking at kind of, again, we're trying to look at price point. Price point is kind of the main bit just now. Is one of the key drivers of what we do is making sure that folk get good value whiskies and can afford to buy stuff. I think if you roll back 3 years ago, a 35-year-old Port Dundas would have been 150 quid, 170 quid, something like that. This is on shelf, or we have it as a kind of RRP as 100 quid, and having it at high ABV as well, it's at 50.5%. The cash strength on it was about 51, but we brought it down because we had to annoyingly had to get the labels done before we bottled it. But this is a phenomenal dram. So it's 1989 distilled, I think it is. Absolutely brilliant. This is a 2-cask vatting of refill bourbon barrels. So what we do is to keep our efficiencies well. This is a bit boring, but we don't really do single casks. It's not something that we do. It costs the same amount of money to run a single cask down a bottling line as it does to do like a 2-cask vatting. Which might save £1 a bottle. Doesn't sound like much, but by the time you put that in the margin chain, it could be £5 on the RRP. So it makes a difference to us. So we tend to do small batch battings, and that could be anything from 1.5 casks to 10 casks, something like that. Like the Balblair I mentioned earlier on, that was like, I can't really remember, 32 or something like that, 32 casks, 32 octaves. Obviously we casks, right? But there's about 32 then that we've added together for that. So that's what we tend to do. So this was a 2-cask vatting, and it's kind of everything that I want from a grain whiskey. It's like popcorn, Werther's Original, super sweet, creme brulee. It's absolutely brilliant and nice and sticky in the gums as well. I think it's superb. That is very good. I like it very much.
Do you like it, Jason? Have you recovered from the weekend?
Yeah, I've just about dried out now. Still got a bit of sore throat, but yeah, it was good weekend, wasn't it?
It was good. It's good to see you guys. It was fun. In and out, in the pub as well.
I know. Cheeky one afterwards.
Phil's pub's quite lively, isn't it?
It's good to go while the festival's on, though. Because there's not many people there. I think we cleared out before the last session finished, so we've got nice and quiet.
Oh, that's good.
Right,
that's good.
So what about the Portland Ask, Jason? How does it stack up?
Yeah, I prefer that one. Yeah, I prefer that. Yeah, I wasn't keen on the first one, red wine cask thing, but that's a lot better, that one. Yeah, enjoying that.
Good. And Alan, you recovered as well?
Unmute that. Yeah, just about. I forgot this was on. So when I saw the chat before, I was like, oh no. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, it was a good weekend. Yeah, very enjoyable.
It was.
Yeah.
And we've got some merch for you after you bent my ear.
You got some merch? Yeah. Gary will be made up.
Yeah.
How many of you were at Kendall?
Oh, you kept bumping into people. There was a whole bunch of people kicking around.
Thought it was in Southport at one time. There was that many of us, wasn't there? Bit of a takeover.
That sounds awesome.
So, is this green suit you, Alan?
This is it's lovely. This, lovely sweetness to this.
Yeah,
I can see. I was looking at Jamie's face, all lit up and smiley, and I thought, oh, if it's good enough for Jamie, then.
I absolutely love it. We did our kind of we do on our tasting notes on the side. We tend to do, if anyone's seen our bottles before, we tend to kind of do a bit of a where does the whiskey take you? And if anyone knows Port Dundas Distillery, does everyone know what it is? It's just on the M8 in Glasgow.
Yeah.
I appreciate none of you live in Glasgow and will only have driven to Glasgow to go to the pot still or whatever. But as you come into Glasgow on the M8, there's the canal. It's the start of the Glasgow to Edinburgh Canal is at the highest point in Glasgow, funnily enough, because that's how canals work. And it goes down, so Port Dundas is there. It's a cracking spot. It's actually worth a visit. I mean, the distillery is long gone, but they do it's a kayak centre now, and it's a phenomenal place to go and visit. It's pretty cool. It's a cool place to go. Lots of guys like got Fred Lang, things like that, and Richard Patterson, all these kind of guys. That's where they cut their teeth in blending and things. Was up in Port Dundas. In fact, John, who I worked with, that's where he did his kind of blending bits and stuff, was there, because that only shut in like 2009 or something like that. But we put a wee kind of story on the side of the bottles here. I'll only do this once, right? I won't do it for every bottle, I promise you. I won't bore you too much. I was saying that this 35-year-old single grain whiskey from the silent Port Dundas distillery, reminiscent of a stroll through 1990s Glasgow on a warm afternoon. The scent of rich butterscotch and delicate vanilla drifts from a corner bakery, where custard tarts and cocoa macaroons fill the window. Sexy. I like that. I like it. You can tell it's written by a guy from Edinburgh, my business partner Callum, because Glasgow in the 90s was more knifey than that. But
More knifey.
It really was. I'm digressing here, but where I lived when I was a boy was a place when I was about 10 or 11 years old, was a place called Knightswood. And if anyone knows Glasgow, they will know Knightswood, North Glasgow. And there was a golf course there, which we affectionately called Royal Knightswood, and 9-hole golf course, but you couldn't play the 9th hole because the high flats were next to the 9th hole, and the guys in the high flats would throw rocks at you. So that was Royal Knightswood. What a place! Yeah. Anyway, I'll keep away my rough Glasgow stories from you, lovely soft Southerners.
It's all gentrified now.
yeah, fucking right it is.
Especially up that end of Glasgow.
Yeah. Oh, at some place. I lived there, and I lived in a place called Wynford, which nobody will ever heard of before. But if you've ever seen Still Game, that's where Still Game's filmed, is in Wynford. That's where I lived after that. I had some places in Glasgow.
Yeah, good on you.
People used to point and stare at me because I've got all my teeth.
Didn't Still Game? Didn't they play golf on that course? On one of the
God, they might have. Oh, they might have. That might be nice.
I'm sure they did.
Oh, I'm googling that later. Knightswood or
I'm sure they played golf on that course. I'm sure of it.
God, I was funny. I was talking to if anyone knows Uncharted Whiskey, Uncharted Whiskey Co. Jack and Dana are friends, and I was talking to Jack the other day, and I was kind of making a joke about next time he's in Southport, and I was just saying to him, next time we were Victor, talking about give me 2 pints, prick, and he was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Wait, Jack and Victor," and he was just like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "You're like the only Jack and Victor that I know. I can't believe nobody's ever seen you together." 2 pints, prick. Sure.
I'm going to try that in the guest house in January and see how far I go with
it. Surely someone's brought that up before.
I've never heard that one.
I've never thought about that before, but yeah. Need a picture of Jack and Victor in January.
Yeah.
We need to do a bottling with Jack then, and then let's call it 2 pints, prick.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Make a good T-shirt, that, Victor.
Yeah, I would.
Some good merch.
Yeah. What's everyone's thoughts on the Port Dundas? But it's liked. I know you like it, Alan. It's liked all around. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big fan of grains at the best of time, but yeah, that's pretty spectacular for a 35-year-old.
Oh,
really enjoyable.
I'll take that.
And what about you, Nick? Are you back on track after the rough start?
Yeah, that's lovely. I'm enjoying that. I've just finished that off, so yes. I was going to try and save some for later and give it a bit more time. But I did pour this about an hour ago or so it's had a bit of time in the glass as well. Do like that. Possibly something on the website I need to come back to.
Well, while you've mentioned the website, I think I've got the RRP wrong because Jamie said it was 100 quid and I put it on the website for 95. So when you discount, it's 85. So you're actually saving 15 quid. So really, Nick, I've saved you £15 there, mate.
Sounds like
You're welcome.
Right. Yeah, sounds good to me.
No, it's great stuff, cracking value, and I'm really quite pleased with it. I think it's great.
Very good.
I'm not a fan of grain at all, but that one's okay.
Okay.
Which is a big statement for me. I mean, grain for me is like red wine finishes to Victor. Normally, it feels like I'm drinking nail polish, but one is I could drink it.
Yeah, I knew
Which is
you'd
a
say
big
that.
statement.
Yeah, I think the people who don't like grain whiskey, they or I've noticed they pick up at the acetone, the nail polish bit,
Yeah.
and it's like a thing that folk don't like. But if you like it, you like it, right? So, but yeah, it tends to be the same way. It's that note people don't like. Well, is it?
Okay.
Is it?
Should we move on?
Yeah, I was going to say, move on to the Speyburn. Speyburn 18-year-old.
Speyburn 18, first fill bourbon barrels.
Yeah.
46.5.
Yep. This one is a 3-cask vatting of first fill bourbon barrels. That 46.5 was actually cask strength. That wasn't a reduction at all. That was cask strength. We were a bit surprised by it when the spirits arrived. We have in our team that some of you will have met before, along with Callum and John. We've got 2 youngsters who work with us, the young team, who are Connor, he's 25, and then Rebecca, who's just 24. Rebecca, affectionately known as the nose in our office, has quite the palate, and she writes most of our tasting notes, and this is the one that she was probably the most excited about. And I'm glancing at my notes of what she wrote on this was kiwi, banana, angel delight, stewed pears, and creamy sweetness. And I'm like, yeah, right. And then you start drinking it and you're like, it is quite kiwi. Yeah, it is a bit angel delight. But I think it's tremendous. I mean, Speyburn, again, is probably one of those lesser sexy distilleries because they do cheaper non-age statement stuff. Probably people like me or you guys are maybe a little bit guilty of not picking up stuff like that and giving it a go. But I think it's a tremendous tropical dram. I think it's absolutely superb.
That's the first time I've tried it, and I mean, I should have tried it before now because it's first fill bourbon. That's my thing. But it's all those things you said. This is fabulous.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff. I think, and it was the banana angel delight bit where I was like, "Come on, Rebecca!" But it bloody well does taste like it.
It's angel delight all over it. It's kind of spread around the glass. It's great.
Yeah, it's tremendous stuff. It's probably a decent time for me to say what I should have said earlier on is we do. We've got 4 colours we use for the label, and it's not something we really shout about, but we do like yellow, red, green, and blue, and it basically means the reason for the colours is someone like myself or Victor or any of you. I'm drawn to bourbon matured whiskies, oxided matured whiskies. That's kind of what I'm drawn to. So we use our yellow labels for bourbon matured. We use our red ones, so it was all red for our red wine or sherry matured. Green was peated and blue is coastal. So it's more of a kind of visual cue for people to look at things and what they like and what they fancy. And they see a blue whiskey, you're going to see coastal, salty. Green being peaty, yellow being bourbon matured and sweet. So that's kind of what we do with the colours. How's that one gone down with folk? I'm just trying to remember the price on this one. 85 quid. It sounds about right. I think it's tremendous. 18-year-old at, it is admittedly a low cask strength of 46.5%, but I think it's tremendous. We probably had no plans to bottle this, but we've had the spirit for quite a while, and then we started trying it again summertime this year, and we kind of saw the ABV dropping a bit and just decided to kind of give it a go, see what we thought, and it was just such an unusual bottling that I thought it was really great and really great value.
Let's pick on somebody that hasn't spoken. Kevin, are you on this one?
Yeah, first of all, apologies. I'm out of sync with the tasting pack, but souls and to support them at the festival things 100%. I've got to laugh every time over Maggie Banjo. So apologies, I'm not with the tasting pack tonight, but a big fan of what you're big fan. Quickly, as a very young Panda car driver, and I went within 150 yards of the premises. And when I came out the flats, there was a washing machine in my Panda car.
I missed what you said where that was. Where was it?
Yeah, that was in Preston, but it was go within 150 yards. I got disciplined for that. So.
Good man.
How about you, Chris? Are you on the pack tonight?
I'm indeed, yeah. This has been the best one so far, actually. But I just got, I got all the tasting notes that your colleague came up with. Initially on the nose for me, it's funny. I kind of had grapefruit, and then it gave way to a bit of that kiwi and everything you were talking about, and then I suddenly got this kind of pear and peach cobbler. It was kind of real luxurious, like, and actually, as I got into it, suddenly it became really tropical. But I've got overwhelming pear drops. You know, those hard-boiled pear drops you used to get that were almost a pink and green color. You used to get them when you were younger. That's what it reminds me of. It's kind of quite overwhelming that way. It's delicious, absolutely delicious.
Oh, brilliant! Cool. I'll take that. That's great. I'm a sucker for anything that says pear drops on it. If you've is that a tasting note you like, the pear drops?
Yeah, but it's funny because it's, you know, everything else I've had so far. Do you know what's really interesting in the last 3 drams is how the fruit that comes out in them all, actually, and you don't always see that. And I dare say the Chianti with the first one, I got the strawberry, but I got a little bit of aniseed. So I was getting like these red licorice laces, you know, you kind of get, you know, that kind of that sweetness and the kind of aniseed bit kind of going on. But whether it was the berries and the tannins and all the rest of it, but it was quite hot. And I found a little bit of water just kind of calmed that one down. Sorry, I'm going back a couple here, but it's just I was contrasting the tastes, you know, getting there. Whereas that last one, it's funny, you know, the grain whiskies sometimes I love or hate them, but that one was delicious. That last one, I just got candy floss, went into butternut, that then kind of gave more toffee popcorn and things. I did get a little bit of the nail polish, but I'm quite used to that kind of thing with grains particularly, but and a wee bit of kind of grassy hay kind of notes in it as well, kind of thing there. But so this in comparison is just a big bowl of fruit, you know, it's kind of quite incredible.
Yeah.
But see, I love like an apple crumble or a peach crumble or something like that kind of thing. So something like this is a dessert. It's just kind of, you know, it's just brilliant.
Oh, there we go. I'm delighted with that, Chris. Thanks very much. I'm excited to hear what you see with the next one. Hear what you say about the next one. But I'll save that just now. So we're coming back to you if you don't mind.
Brilliant.
I mean, I give this a unanimous thumbs up from me, but is it unanimous right across the group?
I had a little nip of this when I was decanting because I saw first fill bourbon and I was like, ooh, and it's good age and it's their sweet spot ABV. It's not too much, and I was like, yeah, I could probably have a bottle of that. That's pretty. It was really well balanced, but it was that first fill bourbon that we like. Just good, ticks the box. I think I'm turning to Victor because it seems to be like whatever whiskey he drinks, I end up enjoying as well.
Need to grow a beard, Peter.
There's no chance. Once I hit puberty, it'll really come in. But
I take it we've got plenty of this in stock.
Yes, we have.
It depends what you mean by plenty.
I think we got a case, depending on how well me and Victor have counted it.
Yeah.
No, it's tremendous stuff. We've not had the chance to go and show it at a festival yet, which is usually the kind of the proper test for whether something's good or not. But just the festivals haven't lined up the right way. So this is probably the first time I've got a reaction from anybody on the tram actually, rather than being in a shop.
And it's a funny one, Jamie, because it's Speyburn. It's probably not one that you wouldn't naturally go, I'm going to take that to the festival and show it off. Like, even though it's a good age, nice ABV, and it's absolutely delicious. But it's one of them you'd be like, oh, there's better names than that to put on the table, you know.
Oh, totally. I suppose it kind of goes back to kind of what I was mentioning a bit earlier on about the kind of ethos at Living Souls, which is providing value, like providing proper value for consumer, right? And it sounds like I'm just hitting a corporate line there, right? But it's not like, and by doing that, like that value, but it means you have to go to less sexy places. So like we had a Lagmore, we called it, which was 55 quid, which was teaspoon Ballindalach, right? 10 years old, 48% ABV, and I think if you look at the distillery's own stuff, it's kind of 90, 100 quid, I think is about right, and it's 46%. So, but we had to make up a name, Lagmore. I mean, who knows what that is? I mean, nobody here would have known what that is because we made it up, right? But it sold really well, and folk really like it. And then, so my point is, we're going to kind of less sexy places and using Isla blended malts like Kildalton and Williamson and Lagmore, and not afraid to use that. And even the 99 and 1, we did that collaboration with the Thompson Bros, which just says 3 on the front, and that's it. I suppose there's a bit of braveness from us in putting spirit in bottle, which is like says 3 years old or things like that. But I suppose there's just a confidence that we have that we can go to a barrel top tasting in Dundee or something like that and show, Mrs. Smith that an 18-year-old Speyburn is actually quite interesting, and she won't mind parting with 85 quid for it to drink in the house. And it's maybe a wee bit bold of us to do stuff like that, but that's where value is, right? And it's all about finding those right bits and doing the right thing with the spirit, like finishing the Tamnavulin for 5 years in Chianti, or knowing when to do nothing, like the Speyburn. We didn't do anything. Like cash strength, right? Just arrived. All we did with that was take 3 casks, 3 bourbon barrels, and blend them together. I mean, there's no real art to that one, but sometimes you just don't need to do anything, right? Hey, the single cask guys don't do anything, right? Lazy bastards. They just bottle it. Just kidding, Rory. But anyway, I'm delighted that's had a great reception. That's really cool. Really cool.
I really like how it kind of develops on your tongue as well, because when I first sipped it, initially it just felt a little bit thin, and then just seemed to grow and grow and grow. And you get this explosion of fruit, and every sip so far has been slightly different. It's been really, really lovely drink.
Yeah, when we first started the samples, our first bit was probably more to do with it being the wrong time of day when I was drinking it. I found it bitter, quite bitter, like astringent. And then, but maybe I'd had a coffee an hour before and not had any water, or something like that. But having it now, and it's like proper creamy. Like I absolutely love it. And the kiwi bit super comes through for me. It's tremendous tropical dram. I'm delighted with it. It's really good.
Excellent. Well done. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. You've got a 27-year-old here. Where's that from?
Imperial.
Oh, right, okay.
So we'll do the Imperial next, if you don't mind. Is everyone familiar with Imperial Spirit? Don't know.
Nah. I've never heard of it.
I love Imperial Distillery. It was like the Against All Odds story without the happy ending. It opens a great pomp and ceremony with the massive crown on it for Queen Victoria's Jubilee, and then it shut 3 years later, and then didn't really open. I think it opened like 20 years after that, and then shut again because of the war, and then it was shut again. Then DCL bought it out, so they mothballed it, and then it opened up again in the 60s because they expanded it because it was doing really well, and they shut again, and I think it opened up in the 80s. No, it didn't shut. It shut in the 80s. Opened up in the 90s to 91 to 98, and then shut in 98, and then Chivas built that horrible monstrosity on top of it after he'd flattened it. But I love Imperial because the spirit is so good. It is so good, and it should still exist, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it is. I would, just because of its name, is probably why it got destroyed. Maybe not the greatest. Imperial seems maybe negative connotations, but we got that spirit a while ago, and it reminds me. A couple of years ago, I was having a dram of Milroy's Ben Nevis 24-year-old, and I just remember it as you have these unicorn drams, right? And you just remember it, and it was single cask stuff like that, and I was like, holy fuck, that is the best whiskey I've tasted in my life. And that was it, the Ben Nevis, and that was it. And then we got this sample a while ago for these. This is a 2 cask vatting of the Imperial, so both casks were refilled bourbon barrels, distilled in 1998, so the last year of production of Imperial. And I've yet to kind of find what the actual tasting note is, because there's like the bit that I smell the most is a bit of dustiness, and I don't really know what that is, right? I wish I could put this in my words better, but I can smell the wax. Like I can smell the wax from it, like proper wax, like the kind of stuff when I was a kid, when you used to get those flat bits of candles and you'd roll them up. Anyway, my sister had them, and I remember them from my hands. And there was like beeswax stuff that you rolled up, and it's like such a prominent memory of where I grew up. And that's the bit that sticks with me the most on this is that. And there's an amazing like fruitiness to it, like orchard, and so like orchard and wax are the kind of 2 bits that draw me most. And this is refill bourbon matured as well. Again, it's cask strength. It's 42.2. There's nothing really we could do about that. So it is lower ABV, but I think it's actually perfect ABV. A real treat to try something this rare. Like it is a treat to have something like this. It's 295 quid on shelf. If you have a look at other Imperial pricing, this is probably half price. The other Imperial stuff is absolutely nuts. But again, we wanted to do this, and we bottled this out 2 cask batting, and we got like 70 cases out of it, or something like that. 72 cases or something like that. We sold everything in a day, just a single day, all gone. And it was just like, fucking hell, didn't really expect that. So maybe should have put the price higher. Nah, but it's tremendous. I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts. It's genuinely one of the best whiskies I've had in my life, and it's probably basically because it's exactly my profile, but it doesn't always fit everybody, right? What are you thinking, Victor?
I need tasting notes of everyone because I haven't got a sample of this. So,
oh man,
no.
Why not? There's still some in the bottle here.
Yeah, there's some there. I'll just go around Victor's. It's down the road.
We send you 100 ml for you to drink every time for every case.
Shh! Don't tell them that.
Yeah, they weren't in the cases. I'll be honest. They weren't. When I was decanting, there was none of that. I think they must have got lost.
You're kidding? You for real?
By another address. Maybe some guy in a hat took them out of the box. I don't know.
If they ever don't arrive, give me a shout.
Honestly, I would have to hunt around. I don't remember pilfering anything from the cases.
Let me look out. We send 100 ml for you guys.
Yeah, I know you do. You normally do that, and I've used it. So therefore, there would be 700 ml bottles stacked up somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
They're behind me, and I haven't drank them.
That was a proper bloke looking for something as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Gotta check. Yeah.
If I find them in a case, Peter, I'll save it for you. All right.
That's very kind of you, Steve. Thank you very much.
If it doesn't turn up, Peter, give me a shout. I'll post it.
Right. I'll nick that bottle off Victor. It's fine.
Yeah, if there's any left. Steve's the other man who might have had his. He opens some of these cases as well.
Or maybe I'm doing the triple bluff and I've actually got all the samples.
Well, I hope you have. Well, let's go down the room and see get some notes and thoughts on this. Let's start with you, Nick. What about this Imperial?
Imperial, I've yet to try it. It smells lovely.
Right, we'll come back to you.
I've got a bit of work going on at the same time as this, so I'm just playing catch up.
Right, we'll come back to you. Steve, are you you've got your nose in it?
No, this is really interesting. I've never had Imperial before, and yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's all that orchard kind of stuff, a little bit of maltiness. That's lovely, really lovely. And if I do find a 100 ml bottle, I'm keeping it. I'm not giving it to Peter.
I'll tell you what, Peter,
go on then, Alan.
Oh, sorry, I'll come back.
Yeah, Alan, are you an Imperial fan?
I can't recall having an Imperial before. That's proper sort of like old school whiskey, note to it, and it's almost like waxy lemons on the nose. And then I get a slight bit of pineapple on the finish, but it's just so clean and fresh. It's just that's incredible. That's lovely.
Yeah. The spirit is so expensive generally that it's almost like someone saying to you, "Oh, what's your favourite 1970s Port Ellen?" You're like, I don't fucking know. Like, I've never tried it. Do you know what I mean? So it's a wee bit unfair to be like, well, what do you think of that to compare to other Imperials? Do you know what I mean? Because it's usually just completely unattainable for normals, like us. So I think it's a joy to taste something like that. It's really, really cool. And just to annoy Peter a little bit, we invited Victor and Peter to come to the Scottish Whisky Awards last Thursday, but the boys couldn't make it. So during the awards, as we came second in everything that we were entered in, about halfway through the awards, we drank a full bottle of Imperial in about 20 minutes between 10 of us. Probably like Glen Cairns up to there.
Brilliant. So
congratulations on your second places.
Yeah, exactly. Second place is, everyone remembers second place, right?
Yeah.
If you don't remember the winners, it's second place that counts.
On the podium every time.
Yeah. It'll only be the Fish and the Clyde who know about those second places because I think they got frisbeed. So only kidding. Yeah. So it's anyway. I've kind of talked about it already, but I just I think it was Steve saying about the maltiness of it is probably it's a kind of malty dustiness that I just really enjoy. People you hear, I suppose it's the Whiskey Fun Serge Valentin thing about Clynleash and being waxy. That's always the note that they always talk about, and I think that's what I get from this is that the waxiness is just tremendous. Yeah, I could drink that as my dram every day of my life and be a very happy boy.
Go on then, Chris. Give us some of your opinion on this one.
So different to the last one. Love it. But my first nose on it was bubblegum. The pinky bubblegum, which will probably look like that fruit. And then I kind of got a lot of the orchard fruits and that starting to happen, and that waxy sweetness kind of thing starting to come through. But what I noticed is initially I was getting a bit of kind of opal fruits, but it actually was strawberry frutella, the little frutella kind of sweets. And then actually it became quite apple, like sweet red apples kind of thing. And then I couldn't really get past that red apples. And I got a little bit of the almost like Pledge furniture polish, a little bit on the aftertaste kind of thing coming in. But again, that'd be a sweetness there kind of thing, and a little bit of that, almost a little bit of kind of dunnage, kind of tasty kind of thing, just as you get the after. But it's really complex. It's kind of one of these ones I keep going back to it and go, oh yeah, there's something else. And so I'm actually going to leave it for a little bit, let the air at it and kind of see what it does. But it's quite interesting. You see, it's only 42%.
Yeah.
For that complexity, you'd think it would be a lot more, but so good. And it's interesting. I've compared it with the Speyburn before, which is such a different nose, and I thought that was fruity. This is the thing. So it's kind of a lot more really but it's quite a different thing. I think the last one was much more tropical fruits, whereas this one's much more the kind of orchardy, kind of appley, kind of really kind of sweet and kind of strawberries and all sort of thing going on. It's delicious. Well, I'd happily quaff a bottle of that kind of thing, So.
Oh, fantastic! And Peter's done us a favour and added up and done a comparison of this bottle versus Adelphi's, and I think we're 60% of the price. So I'm chuffed for that. Thanks, Peter. Good man.
Well, let's get you, Paul. Do you like this?
Yeah, this is only the second Imperial I tried. The first one, it's going back quite a few years, but it was in the Ben Nevis bar in Glasgow, and one of my colleagues stupidly said, "Have anything you want?" So I did, and I nearly fainted, and he had to get an ambulance for him to when he paid the bill. But And from what I remember, because it was a very boozy night anyway, but yeah, very similar. It's unusual because definitely get the sort of the fruits. I'm certainly not going to do a description like Chris's because he's on his own when it comes to that. I can never beat that one. But yeah, definitely that waxy, almost dusty feel. Yeah, like age feel, which is what it is. One of the things which is different from the other three that I tasted, the mouthfeel initially I felt was like actually really weak. There wasn't really anything there, and I thought, you know, whatever. Have I lost my senses all of a sudden? But as soon as I drank it, it was like, oh wow, yeah, okay, I can understand that. But yeah, with the first couple of like mouthfeels, it was almost like, I could certainly see the difference between what we've had with the 50s and the 46s and whatnot to the 42. It just felt very okay, but yeah, going down, completely different thing. Really nice, and yeah, those sort of prices, like you say, you can't really go wrong at the end of the day. It's really nice dram. So yeah, another great one.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Bob.
Jason, are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. It's a lot of whiskey for 42%, isn't it? Really, it's yeah. I probably had 3 or 4, and I think with Imperial, I sort of I want to know why you shut down. Really, you want it to be a bad whiskey, maybe, or something. But now everyone I've had has been delicious. Now it's like, yeah, but yeah, I got the sort of, it was creamy. It's quite fresh. Sort of got a lemony notes, and yeah, I got the waxy, and towards the end, like you say, it was a bit. Everyone seems to have picked up on it. It was quite a bit dusty, and you get the age out of it a little bit towards the end. But yeah, enjoyed that. Yeah, good.
Thanks, Nick. Have you tried it yet?
Yes, I have, and I was just checking the price because I was hoping I'd misheard Jamie. Yeah, that's my first foray into Imperial, really, and I mean it's an interesting dram. I mean, I was all over the sort of, I don't see, like dry pineapple. It was on the nose, just incredible. Just reminded me of my muesli in the morning, really. The bit I saved till the end is those little chunks of dry pineapple, and I was thinking, yeah, that's it. But like Steve was talking about, the bubble gum, that's there, and the sort of other fruits, they sort of come in, and then yeah, a bit of sort of lemony. The Ajax, I mean, I don't know. I think that does it a disservice, but maybe that's just my childhood of having to do the bathroom every weekend. Ajax is just anathema to me. That's definitely something I think probably needs some time in the glass, and I need to come back to. I thought that was what I was looking on the website. That's it's pricey, but that's it. That's an expensive bottle for me. But that's really tempting. There's a lot to be said for having something like that on the shelf, and also I think giving that some time once it's opened, and leave it lying around for a bit. I think that's a tempting dram, to be honest. It really is.
Nick, it's Christmas.
Well, yeah, I know. That's yeah. There you go.
There's a big freeze coming, Nick. All those boilers and pipes that will be busted. You'll be making a fortune in the next fortnight.
Yeah, that's Suzanne. How are the radiators going? And do you want any more?
You've already replaced all our radiators. There's none left.
We'll work for whiskey. Yeah.
Very good.
Do you travel to Dun?
I will do. Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll come up with a plan. I can put the fuel through the books. Definitely.
Okay. I'm not getting. Yeah, but it's not knackered. It's of good age. Our house.
You've got a doer-upper, a project.
Yeah, but yeah, it's old enough that it's got a plaque on the wall to tell you the history of it on the outside. So it's quite an old bit.
That sounds. Oh, they're the best buys though. They're the ones you want to buy.
It's got little ventilation gaps everywhere to make sure the place is fresh.
Don't block those up, though. Don't block them up.
Yeah, just like most of them are at the skirting board level. But yeah, we'll get there in about 5 years' time, and then we'll sell the place.
PM me. We'll sort something out. Whiskey for work. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm absolutely into it. That sounds good to me. Shall we? It's funny how time flies when you're dramming, eh? Was that 4 drams an hour? Wild, eh?
Not bad. Not bad.
Are we safe enough to move on to dram 5?
Let's do it.
Cool.
Oh, before we move on, now just acknowledge Chris's encyclopedic knowledge of sweets. To be able to tell the difference between opal fruits and strawberry frutella that's quite impressive, Chris.
Yeah, I've always had a misspent childhood, eh?
Yeah. See, when you were talking about frutellas, are you a wine guy, Chris?
Yeah. And
Right.
I quite like wine gums as well. It's kind of, but I haven't had that taste yet. I'll let you know.
So I worked in wine years ago, and I worked for a winery called Marqués de Riscal, quite well known Rioja house. But they've got a white wine winery in Rueda, if you're familiar with Rueda region. And the wine is about, their Rueda is about £10, right? You get it Majestic. And one night found out that the absolutely amazing pairing for the Rueda wine is frutella. So having frutellas in this is this like utter mouth, because it's a super dry wine, but this utter mouth explosion with this sweetie with it is phenomenal. Anyway, there's a recommendation for next time you're in Majestic: £10 in a bottle of Rueda and 50p.
It's funny. It's usually chocolate pairings that they do with these things rather than bring your packet of frutellas with you. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, one call out actually before we move on to the next one. Jason mentioned a creaminess to that one there. That was a brilliant note, Jason. I hadn't picked it up, and when I went back to it, it really came through for me actually, and it's a real kind of almost like cremola foam ice cream float kind of taste there to the Imperial. But I've had it sitting for a bit now, but now I've clocked onto that creaminess. That's spot on. Well done. Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah. Oh, great. Delighted with that. We're about to kind of up the intensity a little bit, if that's all right. So we're going to go to the Glen Garioch 19-year-old, if you don't mind pouring that one out.
I'm going to say you guys confuse the hell me when you talk about Banana Angel Delight. I don't know about anybody else, but I think it must be 50 years since I've had an Angel Delight. So how you remember it is beyond me.
I'd say, but Angel Delight was the only dessert I got as a kid. I grew up in the Isle of Mull, if anyone knows islands. And basically, there was no fresh fruit or anything like that. So the only thing you got was packet crap. I mean, we ate like kings because you have. My dad was a policeman, so anytime someone hit a deer, we had venison bolognese for like a month. It was class. And then we lived on the coast, so we'd eat scallops and mussels most days when they were in season. But never any fruit ever until I was about 9. Yeah, we're going to go into the Glen Garioch 19-year-old again. Price point, as I'll always say, bloody great price. You know, the Whiskey Club members, £85 for a 19-year-old first fill sherry is unbelievable. So it's 2 cask batting of Glen Garioch first fill Oloroso. Maybe not, well, certainly for my tasting notes, maybe not the absolute typical Oloroso nose tasting notes. I mean, when we wrote these out and Rebecca the nose went into it, it's the ginger that sticks out the most for me. When I get my nose into it, like proper like ginger and vanilla and gosh, what am I trying to find? Stewed plums, which I suppose is a bit typical. And it's a little bit spiky. I mean, we bottled it at 48% ABV. It's mad dark colour, but it's flipping good. This one here, we bottled it to have, I mean, I don't know what the benchmark pricing for something like this would be, but it'd certainly be 3 figures and a bit. And to have this, you know, the club selling out at £85 is phenomenal. We're pretty chuffed with this. I mean, it seems a bit cliche to do like a kind of sherry bomb at Christmas and see that pushing through, but we always like to have a sherried release per quarter, and this is the one that really fit it. I think it's tremendous. You like it, Victor?
I do like it. I like Glen Garioch. I think it's great spirit, great whiskey. We did a Glen Garioch with you last year for the guest house, I can remember.
Yeah.
And that was one of my whiskies of the year. I think we only did about 40 bottles. We should have done 400. It was great stuff. And you know, it for me, it's come out really well. In this bottle, this one's a bit older. I think the one we did was 11 or 12.
Yeah, 2013. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But this is a big step up, and I like that it's not overpowered by the sherry. It's a sherry bomb, but you can still taste the Glen Garioch.
Yeah, we spent a bit of time with this on the ABV because it was too sherry at a higher ABV. We could easily bottle this 57% or something like that, or 56%, I think was the cash strength, and it was just like, yeah, it was overload. It was overload. It was just, there was no balance to it at all. So we play a lot with the ABVs coming up and down and getting it at the right place, and it just sat right at 48%. I think it's awesome. Like, I really like it. There's a juice that it reminds me of. I don't know if it's like a type of cola or something like that, but there's a fruit juice, a fizzy fruit juice that reminds me of. But it's the ginger that really sticks to me and really kind of goes into my gums. I think it's tremendous.
When you said fruit juice, I was thinking Vimto.
Vimto, yeah. I don't know what it is. It's something there. I don't know if it's like a different type of cola or something like that. But I think it's really good. I'm chuffed with it. Nutmeg as well. A good Christmassy dram, but not your typical sherry bomb.
It is a wee bit different, and I think there is something different about it. Ginger, maybe I'll have to play around with it a wee bit longer to figure that out and enjoy playing around with it a little bit. I always ask Paul Bartley what he thinks of sherried whiskies, because that's his forte.
Yeah, that's almost gone to the top of the class already, just on that alone. So yeah, really, really fresh. And what is it?
48.
48, yeah. Yeah, again, another one like the like the Speyburn. Thinking, you know, it feels more than that. It feels heavier than that. But yeah, you can never go wrong with a sherry cask on that one. So yeah, really nice. Again.
And have you had much sherried Glen Garioch, Paul?
I've got a bottle of it here. I have tried it in the past. I've had a couple of bottles in the past, but too long ago to try and make any comparisons, to be honest with you. And I've drank way too much whiskey between then and now.
Fair play. Welcome to Anderson. You're joining late. Have you got the pack there, Anderson? Are you catching up? He fiddles with these knobs.
I feel like I'm getting tickled.
Sorry, taking a minute to get off mute then, Victor. Yeah, just running a bit late this evening, so I just caught as the message came up about the Glen Garioch. This is a lovely dram, this one this evening. Lovely.
Very good. So are you halfway through, or are you?
No, this is my first one. I sort of kicked off from where I joined.
Good. Okay.
No, good on you. Good on you. Sorry, I'm just doing that. Sorry, I've kind of lost my place. Can you tell my wife just walked in and completely distracted me?
So whenever I lose my place, Jamie, I go. So what do you think of this, Mr. Hunt?
Yeah. You're right. Peter's not said anything in a while. What do you think of it, Peter?
I haven't got the trams. I'm sort of sad. I'd say it smelt really good. It smelled really good when I was decanting it, and I was actually decanting it with Alan. Alan was sat in the mash with me.
Oh, there's a story behind that. I heard the story at the weekend.
Yeah, so Alan was decanting. Alan wasn't decanting. Alan was sat there drinking, watching me do all the work with his pal. And I was chatting away, decanting and chatting away, and I decanted this, and I decanted the Tamnavulin, and I couldn't remember which one was which, and I was like, which one have I just done now? So by the sounds of it, I got it right and labelled them the right way around.
Sounds like it.
I think you did. The moment of panic, though.
Yeah, I've been panicking all week since I decanted them. The stress, it's been in the back of my mind the entire time. Waiting, somebody's going to say something. But when Paul mentioned the colour, I was like, we're fine. We're all good. I've got them the right way around.
But surely Alan gave you a hand to, put some of the caps on and put the
No, he
labels
just
on.
sat there and watched me as I was decanting everything, lidding everything, labelling everything. He poured himself out the dram and watched me. Free pour as well.
As if I'd do that.
In fact, I was putting him on the Lazy Susan. You guys have been imagining. I put him on the Lazy Susan. And as I was putting him on the Lazy Susan, he was spinning the Lazy Susan around and going, that looks good. Try one of them as well.
What a man.
Weirdly, I came home with 700ml bottles. Wondering what they were.
Peter, I can see on your screen behind that you've got 4 Living Souls labels stuck onto your glass screen.
Yeah, because they come off, because I collect all my labels, I stick them into a notebook. But they obviously like double-sided. Yeah, they look really cool. And they peel off so well as well with just a bit of hot water. So I'm like, it's like my own little Living Soul display in my cabinets.
I mean, I would say this, but it looks cool. Yeah, they come off clean, the labels.
They do, they're really good. They're the best ones of peeling off bottles.
Yeah. That's cool. So positive reaction to the Glen Garioch then. That's good.
Delicious, Jamie. Thanks. Lovely dram.
Oh, superb. Bowmore, are we ready for that?
Right, let's do some Bowmore. So we sold this out very, very quickly.
You did.
I went back to get more, and you'd sold it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did this was a 3-cask vatting of Bowmore 7-year-old. We did a small run of Bowmore a couple of years ago for a customer in the UK, and which wasn't quite straight legal, but we did it. And then they so this is actually the very similar stock to a historic Southport bottling. Did we do, how many bottles did we do? Remember, 40, 50 bottles, 60 bottles,
50 bottles, I think, yeah.
50 bottles. Yeah. I think we did it for a festival. Did we not do it for a summer festival?
The summer festival, yeah.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah.
Was that Man with the Hat bottling? I think it was. But it's tremendous stuff. Maybe it was a wee bit surprised with the Bowmore. I'm not amazingly familiar with Bowmore, with their distillery bottlings, and you guys would be way more familiar than I am, because you can't know them all, right? And just Bowmore's a bit of a blind spot for me. I thought this was going to be like more challenging and peatier, but it's like, I find it to be like super floral and delicious. So this is a 3-cask vatting, all of second fill bourbon barrels, bottled at 50% ABV. It's I think my screen's gone a bit is blurry in the background. Our artwork on it is like the sunset and Isla and some seashells on it, and our kind of tasting notes on it would be with vanilla and lemon zest, so the 2 main bits that we got from it. I was surprised by how gentle it was, but in a really bloody great way. It's for me, we tried this. The ABV on this was high because it's youngish spirit, and we tried it as it was probably 59-60%. And we tried it up there, and it was fine, but it showed best at 50%, and that's what we went for. So some Bowmore pricing can be pretty challenging on the kind of single cask and small batch stuff. We had this on shelf at 60 quid. It was maybe slightly less because Victor charges a bit less than other folk, and it's just gone amazingly well. I mean, we produced 130 cases of this, and that's quite a lot. That's quite a lot of spirit. I appreciate I'm talking in cases. I hope they knows what that means, but that's quite a lot of spirit, and that sold out in an afternoon. It all went, which is just amazing for a wee company like us to bash through things like that. But maybe that's more to do with people being surprised about seeing a Bowmore of that age and at good value, 60 quid, 55 quid, something like that, and being interested. But the good bit is having a spirit like this and actually fulfilling that and giving them a spirit which I think is super interesting and coastal. I mean, I would say this is more salty than it is peaty. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts on it. Who's up? Anderson, you're the only one with the microphone.
I like this Bowmore, Jamie. I've not sampled many Bowmores. The official bottles that I have sampled have been the sort of supermarket shelf range that have been rather pathetic, and they're the standard. But I tried a Douglas Lang Provenance Bowmore earlier this year. And that was a similar age to this. It was slightly lower in strength at 46, but this is lovely and fresh. And you say at the price that you've been able to put this together at, it's really good value. It's nice.
Oh, good. Take that. I'll take that.
Take that, Steve. Are you a Bowmore fan?
Sorry, my wife has distracted me a bit like Jamie. She wants a whiskey, and I'm just trying to guide her to the one she's going to have. Just told her to have the 18-year-old Speyburn. So I am a Bowmore fan. Not so much the kind of the supermarket stuff, but some of the things they sell are amazing. And this I really like. It doesn't taste as young as it is, at least not to me. I like the sweetness. And when you said it was more salty than peaty, I kind of get that. I mean, there is a peatiness, but it's not overwhelming. It's just there, gently in the background, adding a bit of body to it. And it's a really lovely dram.
Good. I'll take that. Yeah.
Jason, do you like Bowmore?
Yeah, I'll add to that. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm quite happy I bought a bottle of this. So, yeah, it's good.
I thought that was someone getting in trouble for saying they bought a bottle of it.
No, my wife has just poured a whole Glencairn of Speyburn, which I'm not very happy about.
Victor, you're a Bowmore guy, aren't you?
Yeah, I do. I love my Bowmore, and my late father, he was a big Bowmore fan all his life. So whenever I saw them, I'd pick them up for him, and we'd enjoy them. And this is a good example of it. You don't often see them at 7 years old. I think the one we did a couple of years ago was 5. So this has definitely come on since then. But you're right. There's more salt than peat. And you could sit and drink this. This is a December dram, I think. Perfect. Well done.
Yeah, no, we're delighted with it. It's for us, like I talked earlier on, we use that blue label. Sorry to go a bit brand on you for like coastal whiskies. I think that's like a perfect example of what a coastal whiskey would be. Like a little bit briny, not overly peaty, like lovely, fresh, floral. I think it's delicious.
And I think
it's almost like a Clynelish. It's got that, a lot of similarities, and which is surprising, really, because you wouldn't expect that from Bowmore.
The lower peat levels are surprising. I mean, it is to their normal peat spec. So don't know what's happened there, but I think it's to its bonus. That it is like that. I would usually like something like a Kalila 7-year-old. I'm sure everybody here would thoroughly enjoy the fresh tropical peat bits you get from something like that, and it's just not polar opposite to that, but it's a million miles away from what I would expect from a normal young Isla. Yeah, it's a joy.
Yeah, it's totally thrown me because normally as people know, I'm not an Islay fan unless it's a Bunner. That's about the only one I do like. So initially I was thinking, that'll be one I'll take a sniff at and probably just not even bother with it. But yeah, surprising. Didn't get any of the peat on the nose. Poured it, a few sits. Thought I had a double take. I thought, this can't be Bowmore, surely. They don't do this, do they? So again, yeah, another really surprising one. It's been a really good lineup of a mixture. And once again, as I always point out to Pete, I pre-do the lineup thinking what it's going to be, and I got it wrong completely again. So nothing unusual there. But
the lineup as in the order.
Yeah. I always try and put the lineup thinking, how we're going to do it, and yeah, completely wrong as normal. So that's not unusual. But yeah, they've all been really unusual in their own way. But yeah, the Bowmore surprised me with that one, because would never have if you'd have poured that out to me and said, "What do you think it is? Where do you think it's come from?" Would never have said an island.
Yeah. Well, I've got a funny feeling the next dram's not for you.
Okay. There's always going to be one in there.
I actually enjoyed the first 6, Paul.
Yeah. I might surprise you, because a few weeks ago I did like, I can't remember which one it was now, but I did pick a peated one as my favourite.
I was just about to say, Paul, this is the third tasting where you've liked the peated whiskey.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I think you need to own it. You're a peathead, mate. Just own it.
I started my whiskey journey all those years ago on Islay with peated whiskies, and then for some reason I moved to the Speyside and stayed there. So maybe I'm due to go back.
I think it was a Lecheg. It was a Lecheg you enjoyed. That was your.
Yeah, but that's right.
2 weeks ago you were raving about that.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
That was the G&M, wasn't it? Yeah.
Who knew?
And so Stephen with a P, you've come in late. How are you? Are you alive and kicking there?
I'm good. Yeah, I am here. Honest.
What have you got?
I haven't had a dram yet.
Yep. Have you not got the Bowmore there, no?
I haven't had a chance to pour it yet.
Right.
But I'll have the 7th one, and I'll look forward to all the others on the catch up.
Okay, well,
I bought the Geary, so I will definitely look forward to that, and the Imperial. I was looking forward to the Imperial for sure.
Good. Well,
but more than anything, to see Jamie, obviously.
How you doing? I think you were stuffing a sample into my bag last time I saw you. How you getting on?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just getting over COVID, but that was a few weeks ago now. So, but it's been a while that I've been getting over it.
Okay, all the best. Well, just
you?
In for all good. Just in time for Dram 7, if everyone's ready. So we'll go.
What is Dram 7?
It is the Arran.
Okay. So I missed you at Capital Whiskey Club too.
What's that?
I missed you at Capital Whiskey Club too.
All right. Do you usually go to them?
Yeah, but I couldn't make that one.
Oh, that's fun. No, there was a couple of folk there that I know. Oh, gosh, some of them are part of the club. Obviously, it's Sabine. Everyone knows Sabine. Is that a German lady and her husband? Not Sabine. There's a lady. Oh God, I can't remember her name. That's terrible.
Oh, you mean John and who come up to Southport?
Yes, it will be.
John Parrish and his Danish wife, whose name is escaping me. Yeah.
She has an accent.
Coming up to Southport for the festival.
Yeah, I'm afraid she has an accent, so she was German in my head. So
German and Danish, getting them mixed up, hey?
Yeah.
Jacqueline? Is it Jacqueline?
Jackie, yeah.
Jackie, yes.
Right. Yeah. Nice folk.
Yeah.
No, that was good. That was a good crowd actually. That was a hell of a lot of people in a room. Bloody hell. It was good. But to go back to the Dram there, so we're in an Arran 2016. So the Arran 2016, this is their, I think they called it Macri Moor at the time. So their peated stuff, which they marketed as their heavily peated spirit. So but their ppm is something around the 25 ppm, which to lots of folk here that would seem a low ppm. but I'm not quite sure it's correct. So it does feel a lot peatier than that. We went a wee bit turbo on this one, and we bottled it. The spirit was sitting around about 56%, and it was tasting fucking good, and was a bit challenging and a bit spiky on the gums with the peat coming in. But we wanted to do something high ABV, and the Arran just came out really, really very well. So bottled at 55%. This is a 3 cask vatting, all of first fill bourbon barrels. And when we kind of put the tasting notes together, I've got them written down in front of me. We put the tasting notes together. They actually don't read too much as that it's a peated spirit, but where there's original candied lemon, citrus peel, soft vanilla, fudge, and Rebecca with one of our left field tasting notes. Let's see if gosh, who was it was saying earlier on about the left field tasting notes? It was Chris, wasn't it? This one here is a pineapple gummy bear. So let's test your sweetie knowledge there, Chris. And a gentle wisp of smoke. I think there's more of a gentle wisp of smoke for me than it was for Rebecca. But I think it's a tremendous dram. This is Peter put up already, 64 quid or 58 quid as part of the club. Having an Arran, peated Arran, 55%, 9-year-old at that price is bloody phenomenal, I think. I don't know if anyone, you guys will have been part of the Arran journey over the past few years. It was always in my head a bit of a kind of just one of the malts, right? And just kind of maybe didn't take a huge amount of notice of. And Arran's a place I go to quite a lot. My brother's got a holding house there, so we nip over there and stay occasionally. I love Arran. If anyone ever goes to Arran, one of my good friends has a restaurant there called Mara, and it's a must visit. It's a takeaway fish restaurant, and it is utterly phenomenal. But when they did their rebrand a couple of years ago, when that'd be like 3-4 years ago, and they suddenly had their spirit in different bottles and started doing their 10-year-old and their Sauterne and port, and I don't know if everyone else shares this opinion or if it's just a me opinion. Suddenly I was like, holy shit, this stuff's good. And then even now they do their barrel select, which is what, 37 quid, their non-age statement one. Brilliant stuff. And their 10-year-old still sits at like 45 quid. It's phenomenal stuff. Really good. I love Arran.
I love Arran as
I
well.
had a holiday there in March, and discovered quite a lot of different expressions from the Arran Distilling Company of both Lochranza and Lag.
Yeah,
they've done very well.
Yeah, it's a cracking place. Lochranza is a fun place to go to, especially if it's your first time with all the stags that just walk around you. It's always a bit surprising seeing all the deer being so friendly, but it's a beautiful spot. They now call their Arran distillery, they call it Lochranza now. You probably saw that when you were there rather than the Arran distillery. But it's a great wee island to go to. I bet you had a great time there.
Oh yeah, we actually stopped in a house in Lamlash that had got a load of Kilnillion drinks bottles across the sideboard.
That's my brother's house.
Probably.
Yeah. That's my brother's house.
Up the hill in Lamlash, a big wide bungalow. Yeah.
That's my brother's house.
There you go.
Yeah. Ian Williamson. That's my brother.
And I'm thinking, what blooming heck? All these, and there was a tin with the slot cut in the top.
With an honesty tin.
Put some dram tokens, and yeah, it was a crackingly house that.
That's amazing. And he's got the dram shed out the back.
Yeah, with the indoor fire pit.
Yeah, the fire pit.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. 2 weeks there in March.
That's amazing. So he's my brother. Anyways, it's going off on a tangent, not whiskey, but his wife's brother lives in Singapore, and his wife's kind of family are from Arran, and they were spending 2 weeks. So they were spending a fortune, 2 weeks at Christmas and 2 weeks in the summertime, taking all their kids over there and renting houses on Arran. So it was costing them between them about 10 grand a year. And they were like, well, see if we buy a place and we just kind of rent it out, we'll wash our faces. So they bought it a few years ago. So we ended up going over there at Hogmanay every couple of years. And spend a bit of time there. But it's no, that's amazing. That's hilarious.
That's a great house. Yeah. I could tell that whoever owned it had children because there was a load of footballs and goal nets in the front garden.
Yeah, my brother's got 3
And it
kids.
was our first trip to Arran, and we absolutely loved it. Really nice place.
I'm excited to tell him that you stayed there. It's yeah, he's got a unique style about the place as well. He's got good artwork up. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's cool.
That's good. That was a good holiday. But yeah, coming back to the dram, it's this is lovely. The strength, there's just a nice pokiness to it, but it's not harsh. It's not. There's no real prickle to it or anything like that. It's nice.
So, Mr. Hunt has just posted, for those of you guys that are doing the Advent calendar, he's posted today's Advent dram. And Peter, it is...
It is exactly what you're all drinking now, in perfect timing, as I announced at 9 p.m. You were all drinking today's Advent dram.
Wow.
Yeah.
Donated by Jamie.
Yeah, I know, a bit cheap doing your own dram as the donation, but I did deliberately put this 7th, by the way, Peter, because I knew it would be about 9 o'clock. But it's
well-oiled machine. I should have known. But you've got a few things in the chat. Somebody guessed it as a 27-year-old Lefroy. Somebody guessed the McTaller, and then somebody else thought it was the 18-year-old Lechato Mori. Yours, because he spotted your name. So you got some good tasting notes in there, actually. You know,
I'll take that. Brian has some great tasting notes, doesn't he?
He does.
Malt
music. He uses all the
Brian.
words.
He uses a lot of words. Yes. Yes. As I mentioned, young Rebecca, who works for us, she was talking when we were getting pished at that awards last week with the Imperial, and there was a crowd of us, and we're talking about how younger people, and particularly young women, have a better palate than men just because they do. And she was she didn't miss when she said it's not just a better palate, it's actually I've got a much better vocabulary than you, Jamie. She wasn't even taking the piss, like it was just like so okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's right. So shrugged my shoulders. I had nothing to say to her.
So this is this was distilled at Lochranza rather than Lag, and it would have been called Macri Moor.
Exactly.
Yes, which is the peated stuff that used to churn out from there.
Yeah. This is the last vintage of the Macri Moor of 2016, which is what this is.
Have you ever been to Macri Moor?
The place?
Yeah.
Yep. Have you? I don't remember it.
You've got to remember it. It's one of the most.
You went quiet. I thought it was going to be a story then. What's the story of Macri Moor?
Macri Moor's where all the stone circles are.
Yeah.
And it's just like, must be
I'm from a more interesting island than Arran, though, so it's hard to be
impressed by rocks.
4 or 5 massive stone circles, which are, well, took my breath away.
10 a penny when I grew up. These things.
I'm not going to fall out with you, Jamie, because I grew up in Arran. So.
Oh, did you?
I did. So.
Oh, yeah. Fab.
And my sister still lives there. She's a kilt maker down the island, and my brother-in-law works at Lag Distillery. So, there is an Arran connection there. So I quite like Arran. I have to be honest. I've got a soft touch for this.
Oh, cool. Have you been to Corrie, to my pal's restaurant, Mara? Have you been there before?
Not yet, but I've heard great things about it.
Oh, it's it closes for the winter, as most places like that do in the touristy places. Well worth a visit. He's got I forget the name of the hotel next door to it. I can't remember it, but they've stopped doing food now, the place next door. So you can go and get your takeaway food from him, which is
from Mara, and then pop into the Corrie Hotel there for your pint.
Yeah, it's amazing. I honestly can't recommend it enough. It's really phenomenal. We took the kids there about a year ago, just over a year ago, and there was 4 of us eating, And the food is like phenomenal level of food. I think our bill was 40 quid to feed the four of us. It was like absolutely amazing. Yeah, really good. And I know he's my pal and I'm being nice, but well worth a visit. No, that's cool.
Actually, a little bit of feedback from a guy I work with who quite likes Arden. He went this summer for a break with his family, and the only thing he could recommend to me to go and eat at, he said, "You have to go to Mara. You have to go.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good." But he really rated it, and he said when he compares it alongside any of the best places in Glasgow or Edinburgh he's been to, he said Mara's right up there. So it's definitely one in the top 5 kind of thing for anybody visiting the island.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. It's an amazing place. It's really cool. No, but I've got family in Blackwaterfoot as well. I don't know whereabouts in Arden you're from, but it's a cracking place. It's kind of nice. It's like everything when you go to the islands in Scotland. It's like a mini version of going to an airport, right? You're just, when you get to the ferry port, you're on holiday, right? And you're straight to the
that's
park.
it. You're cut off.
Fucking magic. It's fucking magic. We got caught out going to Facial this year. We're going to Facial, and actually my brother, who's got that house, he came with me. He's an estate agent, but he likes a dram, and he came with me to Facial this year in May time. And I was driving, and we got on the ferry, and most of you will have had the ferry to Port Ellen before, to Isla before. So what, 2.5, 3 hours or something like that. And we get in the ferry, fancy a pint? I fancy a pint. And I thought we were getting off at Port Ellen to then just dump the car, and then 3 pints in, we realised we were getting to the Port of Skeg. We had to drive to Port Ellen, which is like 40 minutes. Like, fuck. So just take the car off the ferry and just hang about for a wee bit next to Kalila and just go for a walk. Anyway, it happens. You do get carried away sometimes, don't you?
It was only 3 pints in 2.5 hours, was that?
No, I promise you, officer. Just 3 pints. That was good fun. So that's good fun.
Right, that's 7 drams. Well done. It's 9:10, and I'm going to go around the room and ask people their opinions of the 7. I'll give us a top 3. So go on then, Paul. You start for us.
I was just going to say, it's a good job this YouTube video isn't being recorded, isn't it? with all these announcements. Yeah. They have been all really good, including the last one. So there we go. I'm definitely changing because I've lost my sense of smell because that was really nice again. So it's a really tricky one. But I do like a grain. So the Port Dundas is got to be up there, certainly in the top 3. I did love the Speyburn one again, which again, as a name, you'd maybe pass it and think, I'll go for something else. But again, that was really good. And what was the last one? God, there were so many. Because I am a sherry guy mostly on that one. The Glen Garioch, 19-year-old. But again, I wouldn't have refused any of them. Well, obviously I didn't refuse any of them. They were all good in their own rights on that one. But yeah, those 3 would be in my top 3.
Excellent, thank you. How about you, Alan? What have you got an order for us?
Yeah, so Imperial number 1, because that was just phenomenal. Speyburn number 2 for me, and then the Bowmore. So I really enjoyed those 3. The rest were good, by the way, but they were my top 3.
Excellent, thank you. Nick, did you get to the end?
Jamie, you're naughty.
Right.
Sorry, I'm just ordering now. Sorry, not paying nearly as much attention. Well, you did lose me a little bit on the last round, but the Bowmore was good. I did like that, and I'm going to send it to my dad as well. That's sold out, though, has it?
That's all gone.
Yeah,
that's not good. That was good. What was after the Imperial, by the way? It was the Glen Garioch. That was nice.
I'm looking at that. That one.
Sport for choice again, Jamie. I mean, it's good. Love your stock, basically. Always enjoy. The Imperial is definitely that's playing on my mind. That's proper naughty. I think that's just a bottle that I'd like on the shelf. There's a few that I think just need some time, and you just want to keep coming back to. You don't want to. It's the opposite end of a spectrum to a Monday night whiskey. Of course, it is at that price point anyway. But flavor profile, what you get out of it, I think is going to change every time you come back to that. And those are the whiskies that I really, really want to have lying around. They're difficult to stay away from, so it does take a certain amount of temperance. But I
know it is because bottles like that, you've got the intention of it lasting you a year, right? Of having a dram every, 2 weeks or something like that on a Saturday night, and then you have it and you.
Well, I'd say even longer than 2 years. I mean, there's some bottles I've got that I haven't opened yet because until I don't know. So a personal thing is I need a lot of bollocks. My battery's going. Are we still there?
Yeah.
Sorry, my battery's gone. There's some whiskies I think need a lot of time because I think they still breathe in the bottle. There's still a cork, and as much as a red wine can age and breathe with the cork, I think the same with whiskey. So that Imperial, I think it's the sort of thing you just want their Christmas, Easter, birthday. Just have a little dram. It's not going to be gone in a year. I like that. I like the idea, and Peter's introduction to Imperial as well. What a sales pitch!
Yeah, I know. I was just about to say everything that he said actually, and then he just jumped in there.
Sorry, I do that. I apologise, Jamie.
Oh no,
I stole your thunder there. That was no good.
No, you helped me. Certainly not detail you'd have got from me.
Okay. Jason.
Yeah, hi. I enjoyed all of them tonight, but I think the top three for me was probably the Bowmore, Imperial, and the Speyburn. So, I think what they're doing though at Living Soul is fantastic at the moment. I think everything I've tasted tonight and at tastings and what have you, and also on the festival, they've all been great. So it's been all good stuff.
Oh, cool. Good. Thanks, Jason. It's cool.
Who else we got? Anderson, have you caught up?
I've had 4. I'm going to save the other 3 and then I'll catch those with the recording if that's all right. But for me, in sort of order of the top 3, I would say that the absolute top dram of the night was Lochranza out of the 4 I've tried. And I'm really delighted to report that I bought a bottle of that. That was really, really good. Followed by the Geary 19. Really, really enjoyed that as the first dram that I tasted in the evening. It's really, really complex and full of flavour. And a really tough choice for third between the Tamnavulin and the Bowmore, but I think the Bowmore tipped the hat in my favour with those 2 for the third spot. But 4 cracking drams. Looking forward to trying the remaining 3 over the weekends. And really thanks to, again, another tasting event where we've got some really good value for money tasters out of the provider. So thanks, Jamie, as well.
Oh, thanks, Anderson. That's really cool.
Cool. Thank you very much, Steve. Have you got any Speyburn left?
Which one, Steve, me, or Steve's?
Yeah, you're Steve, and he's
me. Okay,
so I'm going to go that way.
Okay. So I love the Imperial. I'm with Nick on that one. It's a bit out of my price bracket, but I'd be tempted. It's one of those drams that I'd want to go back to every now and again and just enjoy and share with a couple of family members who would really love it. So that was definitely the top of the list. But they were all great. I mean, I loved the Speyburn and Glen Garioch were kind of joint second. Um, Both the peated ones were probably joint third. I'd find it hard to split them. The grain was probably bottom of the list, but that's me. So, but yeah, really, really lovely drams. Thank you, Jamie. Good stuff.
Cool.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, Stephen. Really cool.
Thanks, Steve. Stephen, did you catch up? Have you?
I've only had the Aaron, but I don't not a big fan of Aaron, but that was really good. And I'm just sad I've missed Jamie in person. I'll have to catch up on the catch up.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
We'll be down at
My son. I was doing taxi duties. He was meant to be here at 5:30, and he arrived at 8 o'clock. So,
God. Well, we'll see you at Southport on the 17th, right?
17th January. Yeah. Chris.
Yeah, class.
Similar to top three to what I've heard from others, actually. Number one for me was definitely the Imperial. I thought that was a stunning dram. Price reflects that, I think. Speyburn was the real surprise for me, actually. That is an excellent dram. I actually left some in the glass, and the longer I've left it, it's become all kind of caramel and butternut and a wee bit of coffee. It's just, really, really stunning. I'm glad I've still got a wee half of that left, actually. I'll be having that later. And then the third one, I thought I'd pick a peated, actually, for me. I would probably go for the Aaron. I think I'm a wee bit biased there, but I think I really like the sweet kind of sweet peat notes and everything else. And I think I got a little bit of the gummy bears that you were talking about. I was a kind of orangey lime kind of gummy bear citrusy kind of thing, but there's a lot of kind of gala apples, sweet gala apples come through in that one with a real hint of smokiness. But do you know what I'm really pleased about, actually, is that Macri Moor, you can't get it now. They've stopped making it in Lochranza because of the lag distillery. So actually, to find somewhere where you can get Macri Moor kind of badge within the Living Souls range, I think that's like gold dust. You'll probably find a lot of people will be looking for it.
Yeah, maybe a mistake from us. I'm not quite sure. Was we didn't ham up how that it was the peated spirit from Lochranza Distillery on the bottle. I mean, it's pretty much sold out, so it doesn't really matter. But I kind of wanted it to be a bit more. This is a peated whiskey, and this is Macri Moor, because they don't have it anymore. And we know that 2016 was the last year they distilled it, which is what that is. But you're right. Anyway, we've got. I
think I was pleased about it. It bumped out the Bowmore for me, which I loved as well. But it was quite. I felt the Bowmore was quite kind of lemony, Earl Grey, wee bit of smoky sweet ham kind of thing going in there. But for me, the Lochranza pipped it kind of thing. But you know, you could pick any top three amongst this tonight, Jamie. There's just such a great range of drams that you brought in, and I think the order that you've done them in was great as well. It really showed them off. So well done.
Super.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks, Chris. Brilliant having your tasting notes, and yeah, that's great. Really cool.
Cheers. Thanks now.
And what are we doing for the festival, Jamie? We got a wee plan?
We do. Not quite finished the old Mixie Blendy though. So I'll maybe keep my mouth shut if that's all right, Victor. Do you mind?
Okay.
I mean, if we're still recording, we're still recording.
Let's not announce anything just yet.
Yeah.
I love it when it's all last minute and nobody knows what's going on.
How many festivals have we done, and that's the plan every single time? It's never changed.
The festival exclusive
arrives
in somebody's car on the Friday night. It's just
mate, yeah.
It won't be the first time.
It won't be the last either.
That's good.
Okay. Has anyone got any questions or comments or feedback or anything else they want to give Jamie before we let him go?
I want to shout out the Tamnavulin, because I think I want to try that, because my friend James we do a blind session every other week. He's got a young daughter, so we do it over the Teams, and he always goes to the supermarket and buys like a random bottle and a Tamnavulin red wine, was in it. So I'd really quite like to give him that as a blind and see if he can pick out
Yeah.
or have that and the Tesco one, the supermarket one, but side by side, and see if he can. He won't be able to, but it'd be cool, interesting because I think it is a, I know you pleaded the fifth, but I think it's quite a little cheeky thing to do to say you can do it and you can do it really well. And also the grain, the 35-year-old at that price is mental, and the Imperial goes without saying, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't usually do it, but I like these drams. Probably some of the most proud of ones we've done. Like we've done 24 releases in the past year, but I would say that of these 7, picking your favourite kid here, but Tamnavulin would be third place for me, and that hasn't been a popular one in the top threes, but I think it's really good, and I would encourage anyone who's bought a bottle or have a sample there to try it at a different time of day, rather than maybe just didn't fit the palate this time of night, dinner, wrong side of dinner for you or something like that. Speyburn being at number 2, just a tropical fruit bomb, phenomenal, and the Imperial just being, for me, that's out of this world. And there's my top 3, which I'm delighted with them, and a great. It's funny having drams of not vastly different prices, right? But comparing an Imperial 27-year-old to a Tamnavulin 10-year-old is not fair, right? But they're sitting 2 places apart in my top 3. It's pretty cool.
If I can just say a very quick word, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
If you ever watch your kids grow, it's tough because you never see it. But what you do is great. And if you've ever sailed in the Bay of Biscay, I have. The Scotch whisky industry's entering a tough time. But keep doing what you're doing. You have a lot of fans, and we're all behind you. So, applaud what you do. It's
awesome. Thanks, Kevin. That's really cool. That's awesome. Yeah, the Southport Whiskey Club have been amazing for us, amazing for me, to be honest. The support everyone gives is unbelievable. So yeah, it's very proud of all the stuff we do with the club. It's awesome. Thanks, Kevin.
Excellent. Well, listen, Jamie, it takes 2 to tango. You support us, we support you, and it seems to work pretty well. We've look forward to seeing you in January with something or not. And and thanks for sharing these tonight. That's something great whiskies.
It's been really great. It's been really great, Jamie. Thank you.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Cheers, guys. Well, is that us?